Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Tara with Tara's Take, and we're on part 2 of our burgundy colored straight edge collage page. And I've gone ahead and went through my scrap box, and I found this really pretty paper that has the gold fleck through it, burgundies, maroons, purple, pink. It's got all of our colors, so I thought this would be perfect to cut into strips and use for our little framing throughout that needs it here in these empty spots. So I'm going to go ahead. I've done one a little bit thicker for this part right here. I was looking at it, and then I've got some really thin ones I'm going to do, and we'll be ready to move on. So how's everybody doing today? I hope you're all having an awesome day. I am actually filming this on the same day as I filmed part 1, and just a few minutes later. I just wanted to not have you guys have to watch a huge long video, and I figured if I went over an hour, that's a little much. I don't want to waste anybody's time, and I know that if you're spending time with me watching this, I just value your time, and I appreciate that you have wanted to hang out and see this video, and I don't want you to ever feel like you're stuck and you're just gonna shut it off because it's too long and ridiculous. So let's see here. Let's find a spot that's a little thin for that one. So I'm gonna, yeah, right here I'm gonna put this. And this paper is from a paper pad I got, Hobby Lobby, I believe. Yeah. And it is a very thick cardstock. Beautiful, beautiful paper though. And I actually have it in the 12 by 12, and I have it in, I believe, the 8 by 8. Yeah, it's really nice. Comes in very handy. Let me do that right there. I usually just fold it like this, measure it, and then that way I know right where to cut it, and that's how I do it. Sorry for the scissors, I didn't mean to slam those down in your ear. Okay, put a tiny little glue right here. Yeah, I just want to fill in some of these gaps because they're not going to, there we go. They're not going to, be able to have necessarily something go over them. And just in case, I want there, to be a place for it. I've picked out a few other little pieces here that I'm going to pull in, some stamps and a few of these little signs. And then I have over here, I thought I might use a couple of these little street signs out of one of Tina's kits to go, once we get the collage itself down. We'll start decorating. That's the fun thing, is building on a collage, I think. A lot of times I've done a collage and been like, it doesn't look right. And then I get to, I get it all closed off, and I realize that after I start building stuff on top of it, that's when it really comes together, Have you ever noticed that? Like I said before, I'm one of those people that's like, it doesn't look right, and I throw it away. Don't ever do that. I didn't, always feel that way, but, oh, you know what, I just cut that too short. Deck on it. I didn't always feel that way, but now I do. I've realized, just give yourself a break. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this, and then I'll cut it. Give yourself a break. Don't be too hard on yourself. Enjoy the process, and don't feel like you have to have it perfect. It's going to come around, and it might end up being one of your most beautiful pieces of work. And, you just never know. Just never know. Let's see. I have to cut. I think I'm gonna, well, no, I have this piece over here. I think that might work. See, I just like to give it a little frame when I know that I'm not going to have anything to go there, but because I brought out some stamps and stuff, like for little spots like this, see, I will use those. So I'll go ahead and do this strip right here. I do love making collages. So now, since this is a new day for you guys, because I am not going to post this on the same day, what are you doing today? Have you started any new projects? Have you learned anything new this week that you can tell me about? There are so many incredible artists out there doing so many incredible things that I've never even thought of, so I would love to hear what you guys have found out there in crafting video land. I was watching a video this morning in Roxy Creations, and it was from about 11 months ago, but she was making the cutest little, I've got to try it. She was making these accordion pockets, and I really liked them. It's a really good video if you get a chance. She had it on her Pinterest page, and I had gone in there just looking around for some inspiration, you know, and happened to run across it and watched it. Boy, I'm glad I did, because it was really cute. And it's, you know, those kind of things, that's what I was talking about, you know. I want to come up with ideas for my channel and come on here and try to make stuff with you guys that I might not have thought of, but you know, I'd like to try it and hang out with you while I do it, because I get tired of crafting by myself. I am always by myself. My husband's at work, my kids are grown, my grandson doesn't live directly here with me, and I'm alone all day long here at home, and I don't know, I think it'd be fun to know that y'all are with me. Let's see. I'll probably utilize a lot of my little stamps and stuff, and my little signage, and some butterflies and bows. I do love Tina's butterflies and bows. If you have never seen her channel, please go over and visit her at Shabby Dabby Doodah. She's a wonderful lady. She's taught me tons, inspires me all the time. Very talented, very humble, has an awesome story, testimony, and just a sweetheart. I don't know of anyone who watches Tina who doesn't end up loving her. One of the things I love about her is just her honesty and her humility about her work and about her life, and she's just so perfectly imperfect in front of us, you know, and she makes mistakes, and she makes me giggle all the time, because she'll get on there and she'll be like, I really should have done a prototype. Well, we're just going to see how this is going to turn out, you know. And like I think I've mentioned before, everything she does just turns out amazing. But there's been times, very few, but there have been times when I've been like, how is she ever going to make this work? And sure enough, she pulls it together. And even though she may not feel like it, I look at it and go, wow, you know. And she really inspired me to, because I loved hanging out with her so much. She's, you know, she's been, her and others that I watch have become like friends in my home for me. And I thought, you know, I want that with other people too. I want to be able to be with other people, not about the channel so much, but this is just my means to an end. It's more about having the association, you know, and getting to make the friendships. I've made a few friends that I've actually become friends on Facebook with now through my groups. A couple of ladies that especially that have just become dear to my heart when I hear their name, when I see their name or see them comment on something. And so now we've actually all become friends on Facebook, and I'm so blessed to know them, you know. And that's really what I want to see happen with my channel is that y'all would just come alongside with me and hang out, and we'll have some fun every day. Drink a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, and craft along together. Tell each other what we're working on, and enjoy each other's gifts and talents, and be encouraged and inspired by one another, you know. Because I mean, that's the good stuff in life, right? Is to be there for one another. Is, you know, I write it a lot in my description on my videos, and I put it in a lot of stuff. You know, you're blessed to be a blessing, and when you are a blessing to others, you're always going to be blessed, you know. You can't give good and not reap that back in some form. And that's how I see our crafting community, is just this amazing group of folks that are there for each other. And I love the fact that for the most part it's not a competition, because it's so individual, and everybody's got their own style, their own way of doing things. And even if, like, a lot of times I'll see somebody say, oh, I got this idea from so and so, their video, you know, and there's no competition about it. It's awesome. I mean, it's like, I'm gonna do it this way. I saw them do it, watch their video too, and be inspired by them, you know. And it's like everybody's just putting everybody out there, and I like that. I like that a lot. So, okay, so we've only got a few little spots here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start bringing in a few pieces that will fit over those little gaps. They're very tiny gaps, and we'll also start building on top of that collage. Okay, again, these are out of Tina. These are from Tina, Shabby Dabby Doodah. They're in her Etsy, and again, I have no clue which one they are. You know what, I'll try to start making a list. I'm using things from so many different kits that it's hard to do that, but I will attempt to start making a list, and that way I can make link in the bottom of the video, so you'll know where to go and find it in her shop. And if I can find them all, what I'll do is, before I post this, I'll go ahead and go in there and do what I just said. I'll add the links if I can find them. They're all saved in my purchases, and like I said, in my folders and stuff. It's just a matter of going in there, and there's, you know, it's a bit of a time consuming thing. The problem is I don't always know what I'm going to use. I don't know about you, but I sit down here and to do this, and I'm not always sure what exactly I'm going to put into my collage or into whatever I'm working on until after I've done it. You know, I have a tendency to kind of pick things as I go. Are you guys like that? I don't usually, what I do when I'm working on a project, when I'm working on a particular project, what I will do is, like if I'm doing a journal, okay, when I start out my journal, I decide what materials I'm going to work with and create my journal cover. And that, you know, I didn't used to do that. I used to do it another way. And for me, that has actually worked. I do my journal cover first, okay? And then once I have my journal cover, it kind of gives me an idea of what colors I want to be in the body of that particular journal. And then that's when I start either opening up the DigiKits and stuff that I have, building my collage, or I'll go in and purchase more digital kits that I can put in that particular journal. And that's just kind of how I go about it. And then I get my papers, my main background pages. And when I say background pages, I don't think I use them the same way everybody else does. I've seen people use them, and so far it's just the way my brain works when I'm creating this stuff. I have a tendency to, I've seen them use one kit, and they have their background pages that you can write on, and it looks beautiful. And then they have a few tags, a few journal cards throughout. For me, I like to have my firm pages, like my cardstock pages. I will print out my digital kits on those. And then I will have some that I've done coffee dyeing or food color or whatever. And then I'll do regular paper, coffee dyed paper that's like copy paper that you would use, in a printer, the thinner. And then I'll do, and I don't even always do this, but I sometimes, I often do, is to add like book pages from vintage books or vellum or, different fun paper I've picked up somewhere, like at Hobby Lobby or whatever, and I'll add those in the mix. But the ones that I put, like my pockets and my journal cards and stuff, and the ephemera that I've created, I will put that on the background pages that I made, or that I printed out on the cardstock, because they can handle the weight of that piece, of ephemera. And so once I get those chosen and I get those all printed out, then I sew any lace I want to add to them. I usually do like a zigzag stitch around the edging, and I may cover it with laces or whatever after the fact, but that's where I'll put ruffles, and I'll zigzag stitch, and I'll do my little flower stitches I like to do. Just depends on what the journal is. And then I go in and I start really making my ephemera and then putting it onto those pages. Once I get all the ephemera made, then I'll go ahead, and I usually will go ahead and sew my journal together. Okay, and once I start that process, that's when I do my finishing touch, is with I don't know where I want this. My finishing touch, I will do I'll do my cards, my tags, my journal cards, make sure that all my pockets are filled, and then once I've got that, I'll sew my journal together. That's when I sew my signatures in and do any fine touching at the end, and then my journal's finished. I've had people ask me about, my process before, and so that's kind of my process. So I do my cover, then I get all my background pages, then I choose my papers and make sure I have my signatures, kind of an idea of how many pages are going to be in them. I usually do around 12 pages in each signature, somewhere around there. It may be a little bit more or less, but that's pretty much what I do. And then I do, like I said, then I create my ephemera, then I sew and do all that. Then I create the ephemera. Then I fill the tags, the pockets with the tags and the journal cards, and then I sew it together. So that's pretty much my drill. It's kind of funny. I never work on more than one journal at a time, and with this blue journal, I had decided, I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try what people have suggested and do do 2 at a time, you know, because I've done where I've taken a poll with people on my Facebook group and been like, what material should I work with, because I'm just not really sure, and they've said, well, do both, just make it out of both. And so I was like, okay, this time I'm going to try that. Well, it didn't work. I knew it wouldn't work. I tried. I did do a portion of the second one. I got the background pages, you know, but when it came down to actually finishing them at the same time, it is not happening. Instead, I am working on, I'm going to put this little guy right here. Instead, I am working on the grungy blue one, getting that one finished first, and then I plan on doing the more elegant one. And I say elegant, what I really mean is it's got more brighter colors. It's got, well, I showed it to you on my video from yesterday. It's got, or the other day, it's got more like a brighter blue, and it's got white in it. I don't usually do a lot of white, and so, you know, it's kind of a interesting little addition for me. I'm going to add this right here, this little piece, just to give it a little bit of frame on this part. And I'm going to trim it. There we go. So yeah, I did not end up doing them at the same time. I tried. I really admire anybody who can make more than one project at once. But I can read more than one book at once, though. I can do that. I've had up to, what, probably 7 different books going at a time. Okay, this keeps flipping in my hand and I'm wiping all the glue off. Okay, remember I told you I'm clumsy. I said that yesterday. But yeah, so I will be able to read more than one book, but I cannot create more than one book. How's that? That sounds good, right? Yep. Let's see. How do you guys do your journals? What's your process? Leave me a comment and let me know, because maybe something you guys do would work for me, you know, as well. And I can learn from you. I think I'm going to try to trim this and put this right here. I don't know if it'll work. Maybe I better not. Watch what. I'm going to mess it up, I bet. I'll give it a shot. Just because I'm trying to learn how to just try things in front of you guys on camera. It's okay to make mistakes, right? I was just saying that about other people yesterday. So if it doesn't work, oh well, we tried. I'm not real good. See, I cut it a little short. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to do that. I'll just put something fun here, like a street sign or a stamp, or how about one of these guys? Now we have one of those right there. How about this? There we go. London. I have never been outside of the US except to go to Mexico. And I've always wanted to visit the UK. Maybe someday I'll get to. That would be a dream of mine. So much history. I love the history there. My family comes from, I am part Italian and part French and English. And so but my family migrated to America. I don't even know on my mother's side how long. That does not look good with that. I don't even know with my mother's side how long ago, but I know with my dad's side, and he's my, I am French and Welsh on my dad's side, and my grandmother was Welsh and French, and my grandfather was full-blooded French. He actually was a child when they moved here, and they came to Indiana, which is where I was born, and my dad. And I just lost my stamp. Oh, here it is. And my my family migrated here, and they were business owners in France. I know that. I didn't know my dad's side of the family very well, and so all I know is that we owned a meat packing company and an ice cream company. That's the extent of my real knowledge there. But I do know they were from France. They migrated, however, from France, or from originally from the UK to France, and then from France to America. And my dad was a second generation, or actually first, he was a first generation American. He was born here. And my grandfather, of course, was about 9 or 10 years old when they moved here. So yeah, pretty cool. I don't know about my mom's side. I know that they were in Indiana forever. I was born in Kokomo. Does anybody out there know of Kokomo, Indiana? Anybody from Kokomo, Indiana? Not the song, the Native American tribe. That's where that name comes from, Kokomo. They were, actually, it was, I believe, it was a chief of the Miami Indians, Native Americans, I apologize. And I don't even know if that particular group is still around. But I do know that that is where the name Kokomo came from. There we go. And yes, I do ramble on, don't I? Hopefully you'll find something I say interesting. Here we go. Yeah, I don't like that. Maybe this isn't gonna go. Oh, you know what? Right here. This little spot. Telegraph address, Kittenish, London. Isn't that cute? Another one from Tina. I know you're shocked, right? How many times have you heard her name already? Let's see. I think I'm gonna grab, just let me turn here real quick. Just looking to see what colors I have. Some bows, and these are kind of purple. I was hoping I could find, actually I might be able to change that one. It's a light gray. Let's see. I have all these bows, but they're a bit big. Yeah, these are all a bit big. Just do a little bit of change on this. It's just enough that, there we go. Now where do we want her? Let's see. This little polka dot guy. Yeah, because it's a gray color, I can just ink it and kind of change its shading a little bit. I do love ink. Do you guys love ink? I love, love, love what you can do with ink. I think it's so much fun. There we go. Yeah, that's kind of cute right there. So we'll put that there. And then I've got, oh, I've also got, I forgot. I almost forgot. I have these little, there we go. Look at that. That's cute. And then I think I might put this one in a spot where she'll show up. I don't want it to be faded out and nothing. I'm gonna put that one right there, I think. I have these little tiny pictures that I wanted to bring in. I like them a lot. And they are right here. And as you can see, they're just, I bought this kit from Tailor Made Journals, I believe, on Etsy. And the front page she has all of the pictures that you're going to get in the kit are these little tiny pictures, and you get that page when you download it, right? And so when I downloaded it and I saw these, I was like, oh my gosh, those are so cool. Now some of these are Tim Holtz too, but I saw those and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm totally gonna use those. And I have been, and I like them a lot. I just think they're really cute, and they're fun little accent, you know, on journal cards, tags, you know, whatever you want to use them on. They kind of add something to your little picture, and they're very small and tiny, so they don't, you know, they don't take up, I mean, they don't draw a lot of attention to themselves, just enough to add to the aesthetic of whatever you're working on. And they're just fun. So I just do a little bit of distressing on them, and I put them down, and I've found that they look good on just about everything I have used them on. And then I also wanted to use a few of these little girls. Really, really, really love these. I find they're, and with them embossed the way they are, it just kind of makes them very distinct. They really stand out. I'm not sure which ones I'll use, so I'm pulling out a few because I'm not going to use them all though. They look alike, but if you look at them, they're all different. Okay, so I'll set these all up here. And let's see, we got our bow. A couple of bows on there. I love those little bows. They're just fun. Okay. All right. So we have pretty much all of our areas covered. Okay, as you can see, there's no spots that are cardstock showing through anymore. And I think it even actually looks pretty cute right now. However, of course, we're gonna keep adding stuff to it, because that's when you really start to have fun, I think. So I'm gonna go ahead and, where's my little, I'm gonna go ahead and ink this, and it's just enough to bring that burgundy in so that it shows up. And then of course, because I don't like to have any of the white, especially, well, it's okay if I've had white, you know, throughout, but because I've yellowed it and made it look vintage, I'm going to do that with all of these. Okay, so we're going to just distress her, add a little vintage, lay them out. And as you can see, because they're so small, they just kind of add a little bit of, they make your eyes kind of dance around the page a little bit, and you notice them. Yeah, I'm probably not going to use this one because she's round, and I don't know if it'll really go too well. Okay. So this is the weekend of the 4th of July here in America. Does anybody have any fun plans? Have you decided to do anything with your family? Are you doing barbecues? Or we do a lot of barbecues. One time I was listening to a video with Tina, and she was talking about her family went to a drive-in, and I didn't comment, but I wanted to, because she had mentioned in the video that she didn't know if that was something that, because I guess there, at least she was saying, that they always see us in movies and stuff having drive-ins, and that she kind of thought we just had drive-ins, you know, everywhere, and that was just something that we did here in America. And I didn't comment, but I wanted to tell her, no, not anymore. They've actually pretty much closed down all of our drive-ins, and to be honest, at least us old fogies who are a little older and remember when they were all over the place, miss them quite a bit. Can I get a amen on that from anybody else who remembers drive-ins and misses them now? They've, here in Phoenix, in the Valley, they've pretty much closed down. I think we have one left, and that's hanging on, and that's it. That's it. They tried to do a little bit of outdoor movies and stuff during the COVID thing, and they were doing it at like parks and stuff, I think, but for the most part, yeah, ours are all gone. Ours are all gone, and it's a bummer. We enjoyed those, you know. As a kid, I went all the time, and yeah, now it's all the big fancy theaters, and you know, you go in and you've got the recliners, and you get to eat and drink, and they'll even wait on you. I mean, I haven't actually gone to one of those theaters, but we have tons of those here now where you go in and it's like almost like being in a restaurant, I think, from what they describe. I've gone to theaters, of course, but just not any of those yet. I just haven't sought that out. But let's see. I do want to put a couple of my little girls on here. I think these are just cute. I love making these. They're a little fiddly, but totally worth it. When I emboss them, I have to, they're so tiny, I have to actually hold them down with a pin, or they'll fly away. I lose them. But they're just cute, you know. Now these do have a hint of blue around the edges because I actually had done blue on them, but I don't mind that. I don't mind mixing the colors a little bit. I actually think it's kind of fun. I am a matchy person, sorta, but I don't know, I try to be matchy, not in a way that, I don't know, ruins my artistry. I like to explore a little bit and try different things too. So I actually oh no, she is. I was gonna say I didn't have her embossed, but she is. Okay. Yeah, I discovered via watching other people, of course, that I love the way that the clear embossing looks, and so I got some about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, and I have almost used the whole thing. I liked it that much. I think it's kind of funny because I have gold embossing powder that I have had for, I don't know, probably 7-8 months, and I've barely used any of it, and I've embossed quite a bit. But yeah, this clear, I really fell in love with it. Okay, so there we go. Let's see here. What else do we want to do? Anything else? Yeah. It's a little, see, and that's what I was talking about, the ratio. That's the word I was looking for, the ratio of how your eyes look at something, you know, and it's proportionate. So I feel like this is a little bit off. It still needs a couple of things. So I'm gonna look here real quick. Yeah, I usually lay things out a little bit more than I did today before I glue them down and kind of get a you know, an idea of where I want things. But I didn't do that. Let's see. I'm just looking behind me, guys, trying to see what I want to add on here. I don't think it needs a lot, but I just think it needs a couple of little things here. You know what? I think I'm going to put a couple of these little butterflies, if I can find the right colors. And they're very tiny, so they're not gonna overwhelm at all. Maybe just enough to bring that right, at least for my eyes. I'm seeing it. I don't know if I'll use all of them, but let's see. Let's at least try it and see what it does. We're just gonna take this around this edge and darken these a little bit. Okay. I was thinking maybe do a couple. Lay these out. Now, next time, I think we're going to possibly do, I may do this real quick here just to, yeah, we're going to probably do the torn edge collage and see what we can do with that. Those are really fun. If you have never done one, I really like doing them. They're more random, you know, they feel more random. I think anything that we work with when we're doing this is, like I said, it's got to have that, you've got to have things laid out just right for it to really look appealing to the eye. When you're doing, even on our cards, our tags, things like that, it has to have a certain look. Otherwise, it just looks like a bunch of stuff is thrown onto there, and it's not going to be pretty. So whether you're working on journal cards or tags, pockets, you know, whatever, when you decorate them, you're building that particular look that you're going to get and have it be where the eyes are drawn, you know. Like if I had my druthers on this one, I would remove this and put it somewhere else. I think, I wonder if I can. I don't think so. Nope. I think she's kind of not in the right place actually, but it's too late. She's down. I'm not going to rip it just to remove her. So let me see. I think I'll try to do a couple more of these little guys toward the right side, and kind of sit them. Yeah. Okay. Now, I have a friend who mentioned doing some stamping on my collage page, and I was thinking I may try that. I don't usually stamp when it comes to this type of a collage, but I do have a particular type of stamp that I really like, and I use it a lot. It's the one I probably used the other day, and I was talking about the fact that I love to let's see, I love to use it to like edge stuff, and so I was just thinking that I may go ahead and try that. Let me see, I've got it over here, I'm sure. Yeah, it's just a little piece of my stamp. It's actually kind of dirty. Let's see. Yeah, I like this one, and I don't want to do it a lot, but I was thinking it would look kind of cute to have it around the edge of some spots here. I hope you decided to do some collaging with me, and I would love if you're a part of any of the face groups. I'd love to see what you did. Or even, can you post pictures on the comments in this? I'm not really sure. I'm so new to YouTube. Well, as far as like having a channel, I don't even know. And I've never tried to post any pictures on YouTube, so I'm not sure. But if you can, I would love to see if you did anything with it. And so that is going to be today's video. That is our first page. And when you scan these and you print them, they just look beautiful. Let me show you. Here's another one I did. I had these taped in front of me to inspire me a little bit. Here's one I did, and they make the prettiest ephemera, and they make really pretty tags and journal cards. I like to, you know, I print them on cardstock, but sometimes I still will glue them down to another type of paper just because. This one's another one. This is very blue. It's even brighter on the camera than it really actually is in person. For some reason it's showing up super bright. But yeah, this is, and it's also printed on the matte photo paper, which is extremely amazing. This paper makes everything look like it's in HD, like how a television is. I mean, my husband, and he's not a journaler or an artist of any kind, he was saying that it's just amazing, this paper, what it does. This is another one, and I think I showed you this one the last time. So yeah, they print out really pretty. I think they're pretty, and I enjoy making my ephemera out of them. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me again today, and I hope that you had fun and that you got inspired to make you some collage pages. And please feel free to comment and let me know what you're doing, and if you like the video, please hit like, and if you enjoy spending time with me, please subscribe to my channel. And I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Thanks again. Bye.